Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Pratik in Classes. I hope all of you are doing very well. So as you have entered in class 11th now, okay, a lot of new things will come because you have chosen science stream. It is very difficult, very tough to manage all the subjects and complete the portions at the time, okay, before the examinations. Okay, so I am making the video to help you these days because schools and colleges are closed because of this corona pandemic. Okay, I am making this video to help you so that even at home without taking any help of a school or tuition you can study well. Fine. So this video is going to be very long because this is the first unit of standard 11 physics, and a lot of new things you will see here. Okay, and I will describe them all in very attractive and very elucidate manner. Fine. So please subscribe my channel Pratik Singh Classes, like and share the channel among your friends so that everybody should get benefits from my knowledge, and do hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video you will get its instant notification. Okay, in Chrome browser or Google browser or YouTube browser or any other browser which you use in your mobile phone or your laptop or desktop, just type youtube.com/c/Pratik Singh Classes and it will take you to my channel and will show you all the videos which I have made for academic purposes, for studies. Okay, and also while you are going through the video, if you touch the screen of a mobile phone at the top right corner you will see an I button there. Okay, if you touch that I button it will take you to the previous videos which I have made related to the video what you are watching at that time. Okay, so I hope you will enjoy this. If you have any suggestions about this video, please type that in the comment section of this video. Okay, so that whenever I will go through that suggestions, I will make videos far better than the previous one, so that you will get more benefits whatever can be done from my side. Fine. So let us start our first class of 11th Standard Physics, Volume 1, Unit 1. Alright, so this video is about Standard 11th Physics, Volume 1, Unit 1, and it is about nature of physical world and measurement. Okay, that is the world which we see around us. Okay, about that is the physical world. Okay, then what are the nature and behavior of it. Okay, and then about the measurements of different terms. Okay, like when we measure current, when we measure mass, volume, okay, light, a lot of things which already you have seen in class 9th and 10th we will see here, but here we will try to understand when we measure anything, why that thing is measured in that particular topic, in that particular subject, in that particular measurement. Okay, suppose an example, when we measure milk it is always measured in liters. Okay, why not we measure milk in kilograms, or why not we measure milk in meters. Okay, likewise when we have to measure thread, okay, or any rope, we measure it in meters. Why can't we measure rope in kilograms? Okay, then we measure luminous intensity, that is what is the intensity of the light coming from a source in candela. Why don't we measure that in kilograms, and a lot of other things. Then we use 1 kilogram. Why that particular amount is called as 1 kilogram, what is the basic principle behind that, and a lot of other topics we will see in this lesson. And not only the measurements, we will see the related terms also. Fine. So the topic which we will cover in this particular video is like this. So in this today's video we are going to study just the basics of first unit. Okay, that is, first we will see the learning objectives, means in this lesson what are the things we have to learn and why we are learning that. Then we will see about introduction of science. There we will see that what is the definition of science and its uses, why do we study science. Then we will see section 1.1.1, that is the scientific method. Then about physics we will see a small introduction. Okay, that if we are studying physics we should know what is the correct definition of physics, then what are its uses, why do we study it, okay, and what are its applications in day-to-day life. Then we will see about branches of physics. Okay, when you were in previous classes you have seen only one science book where physics, chemistry and biology were mixed together, but in class 11th, science again is grouped into physics, chemistry and biology. But again in physics, a lot of other branches or sub branches will be there, which we will see. Okay, those branches will come separately in higher studies. Fine. Then we will see section 1.2.2, that is a scope and excitement of physics, means what is the future scope of physics, then how much exciting world of physics we will see. Fine. So let us start the first thing, that is learning objective. Coming to the book PDF. So let us begin unit 1, nature of physical world and measurement. Okay, before we begin, let us see what is given here by Bruce Lindsay. He said that science is a method for describing, creating and understanding human experience. Okay, that means whatever in our day-to-day life we come across, science is a method to describe all those things. All right, fine. So coming here, learning objectives. Okay, in this unit we will study about excitement generated by the discoveries in physics. Means in physics, what are the discoveries had happened till the date. Okay, we will be excited to know that the principle and applications behind that. Then an understanding of physical quantities of importance. Okay, means whatever the physical quantity we use, okay, how do we use that. Okay, and how any physical quantity is differentiated from the other, and how is it defined in any particular way, we will study that. Then different systems of units we will see. Okay, then an understanding of errors and correction in physical measurements. Whenever we do any kind of measurements, there happens some errors. We cannot make the errors zero, but we can minimize it as much as possible. So here we will study about how to minimize the errors in mathematical calculations related to physics, and a lot of other things related to errors. Okay, then the importance of significant figures. About significant figures, this is the new thing which you will come. Okay, we will study here about its importance and then how to get it corrected. Then we will also study about uses of dimensions to check homogeneity of physical quantities. Okay, so this last topic is something new for you which you haven't seen till now. Okay, we will study it at the end of this chapter, and then we will try to learn how all these topics are correlated to each other. Not here, but in every other unit we will also see these topics coming around. Fine. So let us going to section 1.1, and that is science and introduction. Okay, when this book was printed, this I has came at wrong position, and you can also see that it is being crossed here. Okay, so you are very well than the author publisher here. Okay, you are smarter than the author, you can know, you can imagine what mistakes they have done. Fine. The word science has its root in the Latin verb scientia, meaning to know. Okay, in English it is called as to know the world around us is science. Fine. In Tamil you are very known of the word arrivial, means to explore, to know. Okay, or knowing the truth, means what is the truth behind any phenomenon happening in this nature is science. That is arrivial. Okay, and the definition, true definition of science. The human mind is always curious to know and understand different phenomena like the bright celestial objects in nature, cyclic changes in the seasons, occurrence of rainbow, etc. Okay, since the time immemorial we are trying to find out what is the reason behind it, that why any celestial object is looking bright. When we see sun, why does light come from the sun, from the stars, or whenever any celestial object passes the earth's gravitational field, okay, like comets, why does it make a tail? Okay, then we are amazed to know what is the reason behind the cyclic changes of nature, seasons. Okay, why season changes, okay, day after day, and also by over a period of time. Then what is the reason behind the occurrence of rainbow? In previous classes we have studied about there are 7 colors of rainbow, but here in class 11th and 12th we will study that the rainbow is not made of only 7 colors, but in actual it is made of infinite color. Okay, about that we will come later in second volume. The inquisitive mind looks for meaningful pattern and relations in such phenomenon. Okay, means if you want to know something which is related to day life, okay, we will be always trying to find out what is its reason and how is it related to the other phenomena which is happening around us. Okay, today we are living in modern era. Today's modern science and technology is an offshoot of the understanding of nature. Okay, means we have tried to explore the nature very well, very hard. We have known a lot of things. Now we know that what is the reason of the dazzling brightness of stars like our sun. Okay, we are using a lot of better communication devices. The mobile phone in your hand now which you are using, or if you are watching my video on laptop or desktop, okay, that is a vast advancement of science. But have we reached the peak of science? Have we explored everything? Okay, have we came to dead end? Okay, all of those things we will study here. We'll try to find out the reasons behind every phenomenon which we see in our day-to-day life. Okay, science is the systematic organization of knowledge gained through observations, experimentations, and logical reasonings. Okay, since immemorial time, we are watching and observing the things, the changes happening around us. Okay, and we try to find out by our deep observations, experimentation, and logical reasoning that why those things are happening around us. If any change is happening, okay, we try to find out the logical reason behind us, okay, behind it by doing the experiments or by carefully observing it in a period of time. Okay, and that is the theme of science. The knowledge of science dealing with non-living things is physical science, okay, like physics and chemistry, and that dealing with living thing is called as biological science, that is botany, geology, etc. Okay, and other groups also. Fine. So the things which are having no life, okay, and the science behind that comes under the category of physics and chemistry, and the study of science which has life in it comes under botany and geology. Okay, fine. So I hope you have understood the basic introduction of science here. Curiosity driven observations of nature happenings was the origin of science. Okay, means what are the things happening around us in the nature. If we are curious about that, okay, then it is the starting point or the origin point of science. Okay, when we are eager to know something happening around us or some changes happening around us, okay, there happens the origin of science. Okay, as we have seen earlier that in Tamil it is called as arrival. The word science was coined only in the 19th century. Okay, before that in different civilizations we were using different word for it. Natural philosophy was the earlier name given to science when ancient civilization knew and practiced astronomy, chemistry, human psychology, and agriculture. Okay, in your social science you have studied about different type of civilizations, different phases of civilizations, and everywhere people were curious to know about the nature, to know about the facts happening around them. Okay, earlier the word science, it was known as natural philosophy. Okay, because at that time in ancient civilizations we were familiar about astronomy, a lot of things. Okay, the astronomy of Indian culture or the Vedic astronomy is far better than any other civilization around the world. Then chemistry we knew very well, then human psychology and agriculture we knew very well. The early invaders, or you can say early men, started doing agriculture. They gained the knowledge by carefully observing the situation of cultivation over a period of time, and then they knew some basic terms of agriculture, some basic perspectives of agriculture. Okay, that is why earlier it was known as natural philosophy. Okay, means philosophy of the nature or the happening of nature. Okay, oral communication was the mode of conveying knowledge when writing system was not yet developed. You know very well that earlier the Munis, they used to give their teachings to their people only by speaking, only by communicating, because at that time writing script were not developed. Okay, one of the oldest forerunners of scientific advancements from astronomy to medicine were the Egyptians. Okay, we should be proud of our Indian culture. Okay, even though it is given here Egyptians, I strongly disbelieve this, because our Indian culture was far better in astronomy, in medicine, and a lot of other aspects of science. We Indians are the first to find out what is the value of pi and zero. Scientific and mathematical excellence in India dates back to prehistoric human activity in Indus Valley civilization. About Indus Valley civilization you have studied in class 9th and 10th in social science. Okay, at that time our mathematics was far better than anything, any place, any civilization around the world. Okay, you also have studied in previous classes that the time when people of Indus Valley civilization were making homes, at that time the people around the other civilizations were living in huts or in forests. Okay, so be proud to be Indian. Okay, that our own knowledge was far better than anywhere else. Now coming to the scientific method, means how to study about anything very scientifically. Okay, with calculations, a lot of things. Let us see what is given here. The scientific method is a step-by-step approach in studying natural phenomena and establishing laws which govern these phenomena. Means how everything is happening or how anything is happening around us. The step-by-step approach or step-by-step learning of those phenomena is the scientific method or the best method. Okay, it is just like to come to class 11th, you have studied 10 classes from 1 to 10th. Okay, or pre classes also, like pre KG, KG, UKG. Okay, so it is a step by step method to make you aware of the things around you. Okay, to develop a lot of things around you. Okay, if suppose just after doing class 9th you come to class 11th, okay, you will not be able to analyze logically what are the things you are going to see in your life and what are the things given in your books also. Any scientific method involves the following features. Okay, when we develop a scientific method, what really does it mean? The first one is systematic observation. Okay, means while you are learning counting, by after 1 you go to 2, 3, 4, 5 in a step by step manner. You cannot just learn number 1, then number 10, then number 11. Fine, so that is called as systematic observation. Then controlled experimentation. We do the experiments and based on those experiments we try to find out what really has happened or why any particular thing is happening. Okay, but this should be done in a controlled environment. Okay, then qualitative and quantitative reasoning. Okay, that means why and how much. These are called as qualitative and quantitative. Why anything is happening is called as qualitative and how much it is happening is called as quantitative, and what is the reason behind that is called the reasoning. Then mathematical modeling. Okay, means if we are doing any experiment, okay, in that particular experiment how much amount is needed, how to calculate all those things, okay, that is called as mathematical modeling. Okay, without mathematical modeling we cannot approach any scientific work. Then prediction and verification or falsification of theories. Okay, after all these 1 to 4 steps, okay, we try to find out what is the prediction of doing any experiment, or if suppose any prediction is already being made, okay, then whether it was true or we have got something new and make it false. Okay, so that is the scientific method of studying science in a step by step manner. Fine, so here an example is given. Let us see what is it. Okay, coming to the example, consider a metallic rod being heated. Means take any metallic rod, whether it is made of copper, iron or any other metal. Okay, when one end of the rod is heated, heat is felt at the other end. That means if suppose we have a metallic rod in your hand, okay, and if you heat that at left end, after some time at the right end also you will feel it is going, or its temperature is increasing, or it is being heated. Okay, from this observation what can be asked? Okay, first, what happens within the rod when it is heated? Means when we keep the rod over a flame, why does it become hot? Okay, what is the reason behind it to make it hot? Then how the heat reaches from one end to the other end. Okay, means you have heated the left end of the rod, and after some time the heat has reached to the right end, or the temperature at the right end has also increased. Okay, so how heat has flown from one end to the other end. Then is this effect true for all materials? Means if suppose instead of using metallic rod, if we use some other material, okay, suppose we use carbon rod or any other things, will the same phenomenon will happen? Means if suppose we heat, if we take suppose a bakelite rod and heat at one end and hold it to from the other end, will the heat reach to the other end? Okay, means does the heating effect happens to all materials around us? Okay, then if heat flows through the material, is it possible to visualize it? Means can we see how the heat is flowing from one end of the material to the other end? Okay, so these are the things, or you can say that these are the observations when we were heating a metallic rod. The process of finding the answer to these queries is scientific investigation. Means to find out what is the reason of A, B, C or D, we have to find out the scientific investigation. We have to do the scientific investigation that why it is happening, okay, in a scientific approach, in a scientific manner. Okay, why these things happen, or the basic phenomena of it will be studied in unit 8, that will come in second volume, and that is under the topic thermodynamics. Okay, before studying about thermodynamics, a lot of other things we have to study which will lead us to understand thermodynamics very well. Okay, fine. So what are the chapters given in your any subject? Okay, all those chapters are arranged in a sequence, in a scientific manner. To understand the things better, you must go from first chapter to second to third to fourth in all the subjects, okay, in systematic way. If suppose you jump from one chapter to other chapter, like you have studied chapter 1 first, then chapter 5th partially, then chapter 2nd partially, in that situation you will not be able to correlate the things, okay, in that particular subject and also to the other subject, and you will not be able to understand the things, and it will become very tough for you to clear a standard 11th and 12th portion. Fine. So this was about the scientific approach. Alright, now coming to section 1.2, and that is introduction of physics. Okay, here we will study about what is the real definition of physics and why do we study it, okay, and what is its scope, and a lot of other things also. Fine. The word physics has been taken from a Greek word that means that is physis, and it means nature. That means the law which governs the nature is called as physics. Okay, in physics we study only about the nature and its laws. Okay, it deals with the nature and natural phenomenon. Hence physics is considered as the most basic of all sciences. Means whatever branch of science you will read, you will study, everywhere sorry, you need the help of physics. Fine. Unification and reductionism are two approaches in studying physics. Okay, attempt to explain diverse physical phenomena with a few concepts and laws is called as unification. Okay, it means that when we try to find out the physical phenomenon and try to make it conceptualize, okay, in some logical manner and make it precise is called as unification. For example, about Newton's laws of motion we already have studied in previous classes. Okay, then Newton's universal law of gravitation we will study in second volume unit 6. Okay, and that explains about freely falling bodies near the Earth's surface. Okay. All right, the very basic Newton's universal law of gravitation states about the motion of planets around the sun or the motion of any celestial object around the star. Okay, then why the moon rotates around the earth. Okay, all of these things are being governed by the fundamental law of forces in nature. Okay, and these are being summarized in a very short form. An attempt to explain a macroscopic system in terms of its microscopic constituent is called as reductionism. Means how we can make the things fundamental and very small and correlate it to the different natural phenomenon. For example, thermodynamics, okay, which you will study in second volume unit 8, was developed to explain macroscopic properties like temperature, entropy, etc. of bulk system. Okay, means in the branch of physics, that is thermodynamics, we will study about the nature of heat transfer. Okay, then what happens when the heat transfers from one material to other material or within same material from one place to other place, how does the temperature change, what is the meaning of entropy, and a lot of things. Okay, the above properties have been interpreted in terms of molecular constituents or microscopic of the bulk system by kinetic theory, which we will study in unit 9, and static mechanism. That means a lot more things can be studied with the help of very smaller things, and that is called as reductionism. Okay, here we have seen as temperature, entropy, then a macro means very big property and micro means very small. Okay, so all those things will be discussed in detail when we will study kinetic theory of gases in second volume unit 9. Okay, now coming to section 1.2.1, that is branches of physics. Okay, here we will see that what are the different groups under physics which we will deal in these two volumes and in future also. Fine. Physics as a fundamental science helps to uncover the law of nature. Okay, it is a very fundamental science because it is related to every other branch of science. Okay, then it will help us to uncover or reveal the secrets of the nature. The language of its expression is mathematics. That means whatever thing we use to find out in physics, okay, it will always take help from mathematics. Okay, if you can say physics as a body, then mathematics is its soul. In ancient times, humans lived with nature, their lifestyles were integrated with nature. Okay, means we were very much related to the nature and living very near with nature. Okay, but now we became far away. They could understand the signals from the movement of stars and other celestial bodies. Okay, you might have seen that the old days people, just by seeing the shadow, they can find out what is the time at a particular day. Okay, or just by seeing the direction of wind, they can find out whether it will rain or not. Just by watching the clouds, whether they can say whether it will rain or not, and a lot of other things, because they were living very close to the nature. They could determine the time to sow and reap by watching the sky. Means just by watching the sky, they can say that it will rain today, so we should sow. And just by watching the sky, the clouds, and the color of the crops, they can find that the cultivation is complete now. Okay, and we should reap it for use. Okay, thus astronomy and mathematics were the first disciplines to be developed. Okay, just by doing day-to-day practice, just by observing the things happening around them, the early human tried to find out the basics of astronomy and mathematics. Okay, the chronological development of various branches of physics is presented in appendix A 1.1, okay, which is given at the end of the book. Fine. Here a new word has come, chronological development. That means in sequence. Chronology means sequence. Sequential development means first thing happened, then next thing happened, then something next happened. Okay, and likewise. The various branches of physics is also schematically drawn in figure 1.1, which we will see now. Okay. And then in table 1.1 we will see some basic terminology of physics and its basic definition. Okay, fine, let us come to this figure 1.1 and let us try to find out what are the branches and sub branches of physics. Alright, so on your screen you can see that physics is mainly divided into two groups, okay, or two branches, that is classical physics and modern physics. Okay, now classical physics again is divided into groups, and again those groups have subgroups. Likewise, modern physics is also subdivided into different groups and subgroups. Let us see them one by one. So classical physics is divided into mechanics. Okay, the first volume mostly deals in mechanics. Okay, then thermodynamics and kinetic theory of gases. This topic will also come in chemistry, so be very clear when we will study about the topics and subtopics in thermodynamics in volume 2. Okay, then optics. Okay, that means in this one we will study about light and waves of light, then electric and magnetism. Okay, then acoustics means sound. Here we will study about sound and its wave properties. Okay, and a lot of other phenomena related to sound. Then astrophysics and relativity. Okay, about astrophysics and relativity we not have to study in class 11th. Also acoustics will come in 12th, electricity and magnetism will come in 12th, and optics a small portion will come in 11th, and most of it will be in 12th. Fine. Now seeing mechanics, it is divided into two groups. Okay, that is statics and dynamics. Okay, statics means stable and dynamics means the thing which is always in movement. Okay, again back, dynamics is divided into two subgroups, that is kinematics and kinetics. Okay, when we will study about mechanics, about dynamics, there we will study that what is the basic difference into kinematics and kinetics, okay, which is related to work, force and energy. Fine. Now coming to modern physics. Modern physics has you can see these parts like quantum physics. Okay, in quantum physics we will have non-relativistic and relativistic physics. Okay, then atomic physics. Here we will study about the size, shape of atoms, its volume, its mass, how to find it, Millikan's oil drop experiment, and a lot of other phenomena. Okay, then nuclear physics. In nuclear physics we will study about nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. About nuclear fission you already have studied in class 10th, but here we will study a lot that how nuclear fission or fusion happens and how much energy is being generated there. Okay, then we will study about molecular physics, that in a molecule how the atoms are arranged. Okay, then what are their orientations and a lot of other phenomena. Then high energy physics and condensed matter physics. Okay, please keep in mind that about high energy physics, condensed matter physics, and you not have to study in either class 11th or in 12th. About molecular physics you have to study a lot of things in higher classes, not even in 11th or 12th. Okay, even though what are the topics you have seen in this screen here, a lot or a less you have to study. Okay, means at least you have to know what are the science, what are the branches related to each other. Okay. Alright, coming to the theory part, some of the fundamental concepts of basic areas of physics are discussed in higher secondary first year physics book volume 1 and volume 2. Okay, like mechanics is like that. Mechanics will be studied in or covered from unit 1 to unit 6. Okay, that means the first volume is basically fully about mechanics. Okay, here Unit 1 gives an idea of development of physics along with discussion on basic elements such as measurements, units, etc. Okay, so here you have just to study the basics of physics and how it is related and what are the needs while we will discuss the formula. Okay, then errors and a lot of other things. Okay, so you can say that Unit 1 is just the basic introduction about standard 11th physics. Okay, then when we will study unit 2, it will give the basic mathematical needs to express the impact of physical principles and their governing laws. Okay, there we will study about Newton's laws. Okay, then how force, work, energy are correlated, and a lot of other things. Okay, which the basic about those things we have already studied in class 9th and 10th, but here we will study them with the help of mathematics. Okay, then something new will come in mathematics like integration and differentiation when we will study unit 2. Sorry, we will study about that. Then the impact of forces acting on objects in terms of the fundamental laws of Newton and are very systematically covered in unit 3. Okay, so in unit 3 we will basically study about the laws given by Newton, that is Newton's laws of motion, that he has given 3 laws. Okay, then we will study about its definition, then how they are correlated with mathematics. Then we will study some numerical laws, numerical formula we will solve there. Okay, then some numerical sums we will try to solve there. Then work and energy, which are the basic parameters of investigations of the fundamental mechanical world, are presented in unit 4. Okay, that means in unit 4 we will study about work and energy and how they are correlated to each other, or how they are being influenced. All right, in unit 5 we will study about the mechanics of rigid body. Okay, rigid body means the bodies which do not move, or the particles of the object remains at fixed position. Okay, in contrast, objects are viewed as point objects in units 3 and 4. Okay, the basics of gravitation and its consequences are discussed in unit 6. There we will study that how Earth is being bound to the sun, and why does it always rotate around the sun? Why doesn't it collide with the sun? Or when a cyclist rotates its bicycle, how do they move? And a lot of other things we will study there. Older branches of physics such as different properties of matter are discussed in unit 7. Okay, that is in second volume. Okay, then the impact of heat and investigation of its consequences are covered in units 9th and 8th and 9th of second volume. Okay, means when heat flows in the matter, what happens to the particles of the matter, then how does heat flow, rate of change of heat flow, or rate of change of temperature. Okay, a lot of other things we will study in unit 8th and 9th. Then some important features of oscillations and wave motion are covered in unit 10 and 11. There we will study about heat waves, light waves, magnetic waves, okay, and a lot of other phenomena. Okay, that how to solve the given equation or given question numerically. Okay. So here on the screen you can see table 1.1 branches of physics. Okay, so these are the things you have to memorize very well. Okay, like thermodynamics is the branch of physics which deals with the relationship between heat and other forms. Like optics is the study of light. Okay, astrophysics is the branch of physics which deals with the study of physics of astronomical bodies. So table 1.1 you have to memorize it very well. Okay, if I will try to deal it here, it will take around 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, so let it leave on time, and we will come to it one by one in later videos. Coming to our next point, that is section 1.2.2. It is very exciting. Okay, we will study here about scope and excitement of physics. Okay, it is going to be very exciting. Discoveries in physics are of two types. Okay, what are they? Accidental discoveries and well analyzed research outcome in the laboratory based on intuitive thinking and predictions. Okay, accidental discoveries means it has happened suddenly by some accident. It has happened. Okay, like if you will study the history in physics, you will study there the discovery of magnet has happened accidentally. Okay, then the velocity of light, it is a well planned laboratory based experiments observation. Okay, and a lot of other things. Fine. For example, magnetism was accidentally observed, but the reason for this strange behavior of magnets was later analyzed theoretically. Okay, I have said you earlier that the phenomenon of magnetism was just accidentally observed. But what is the magnetism? Why does it happen? What is its strength? Okay, how does it influence the other particles or other objects around it? Are being analyzed theoretically. This analysis revealed the underlying phenomenon of magnetism. With this knowledge, artificial magnets were prepared in the laboratories. Okay, so first we got accidentally magnet, then we tried to find out its properties, and then we made magnets artificially in our laboratories. Theoretical predictions are the most important contribution of physics to the development in technology and medicine. Okay, if you are going to be a doctor, you have to study a lot about medicines. Okay, there first we predict, then we do some experimentations, observations, and again we try to find out some relations based on different observations, and then we get something new which contributes a lot in our day-to-day life, okay, for the benefit of humankind. All right, for example, the famous equation of Albert Einstein E is equal to mc square was a theoretical prediction in 1905 and experimentally proved in year 1932 by Cockcroft and Walton. Okay, we know this equation E is equal to mc square very well. Okay, but it was given in year 1905 by Albert Einstein, and at that time it was just a theoretical prediction. Okay, later in year 1932, okay, the two scientists Cockcroft and Walton, they experimentally verified it. Okay, theoretical predictions aided with recent simulation and computation procedures are widely used to identify the most suited material for robust applications. Okay, so you might have heard about smart materials. Okay, like in market a new type of cloths are available which we not use to wash it. Okay, so those types of materials are the first predicted, and then a lot of experiments have been done, and then we get something which changes robustly. The pharmaceutical industry uses this technique very effectively to design new drugs. Here drugs means medicine, pharmaceutical industry means medical industry, okay, which makes medicines to cure us, whether us or plants or animals. Biocompatible materials for organ replacement are predicted using quantum prescriptions of physics before fabrication. Okay, you might have seen that there are somebody who are handicapped. Okay, for them some prosthetic limbs are attached. Okay, those are made of some compatible material. Okay, first those materials are being you can say it is fabricated with the help of quantum prescriptions, okay, of physics, and then it is used. This experiments and theory work hand in hand, complementing one another. Okay, means experiments shows us what to do and the result shows us how to do. Okay, and if you apply both, it will give you the result. Okay, going to the scope of physics. Physics has a huge scope as it covers a tremendous range of magnitude of various physical quantities, okay, like length, mass, time, energy, etc. All of these things are being governed by the laws of physics. Okay, later in the same chapter at the end we will study that how mass is being defined. Okay, how when we say 1 hour of time, why that much duration of time is called as 1 hour. When we say likewise 1 second of time, why that length of time is called as 1 second, we will study there. Okay, then we will study that why a particular mass is called as 1 kilogram, why not bigger mass or smaller mass is called as 1 kilogram, we will study. Okay, and a lot of other things at the end of this chapter. Okay, so these are just the beginning and the fundamental. These things will make the base of physics. Even though if suppose this lecture is going boring, you have to listen it because every word is new for you here, and you have to understand these things very well to understand the things later given in the book. It deals with symbols of very large magnitude as in astronomical phenomena, as well as those with very small magnitude involving electrons and protons. Okay, like whenever we deal with the physics, it comes with size, shape and volume. Okay, there may be some shape which is very smaller, there may be some size which is very smaller, and there may be some shapes and sizes which are very big. Okay, like the size of this universe to the size of electrons and protons. Okay, so that is the range of the physics, that is from minus infinity to plus infinity. Then range of time scale. Okay, how much the bigger time is possible or how much smaller time is possible, we will see here. Astronomical scales to microscopic scale, that is 10 to the power 18 seconds to 10 to the power minus 22 second is the scale of time. Okay, all right. Range of masses, okay, means what is minimum and what is the maximum mass available or possible in our imaginations. For heavenly bodies of 2 electrons, the range of mass is from 10 to the power 55 kilogram or much beyond that to 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram, that is the mass of an electron. Here 10 to the power 55 kilogram is the mass of total universe which we know exists now. Okay, the actual mass of an electron is 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. This data you have to remember very well. Okay, that is what is the mass of electron, proton, neutron, then what is the charge on electron and proton. Okay, these things you have to memorize, because in NEET exam or JEE exam, when you will go and try to solve the numerical problems, okay, there the data will not be given. The study of physics is not only educative but also exciting in many ways. Okay, we not only here try to memorize the things, but it also excites us. It makes us puzzled sometimes. Okay, it makes us wow that there is something which is happening. How is physics so much exciting? Let us see with the help of this text here. A small number of basic concepts and laws can explain diverse physical phenomena. Let me say you something, that the laws of physics are universal. That means everywhere in the universe a particular law is applicable. Or suppose for an example, if you study about Newton's laws of motion, then this law of motion is universally accepted. It is possible in the every part of the universe. Likewise, when you will study about Newton's law of gravitation, that law is true for everything in this universe. Okay, the most interesting part is the designing of useful devices based on physical laws. Okay, suppose you are watching this video on your mobile phone or in your laptop or desktop. Okay, then how that mobile phone is displaying the things on the display, okay, that is based on the physical law. For example, suppose use of robotics. Robotics is the branch of physics, okay, and the way the robots behave, the way it works, okay, it is based on the laws governed by physics. Journey to moon and to nearby planet which with controls from the ground. Okay, suppose in future some of you who are watching the video now are able to go to moon, okay, and again come back. Okay, so the spacecraft which will take you to the moon and again to back, okay, and being governed from the ground station are based on the laws of physics. Then technological advances in health sciences, etc., will be the are based on the laws of physics. Okay, in Discovery Channel, if you have seen, sometime they show about sports science. Okay, even in sports, when you play, when you move, okay, all the things are being governed by the laws of physics. Okay, in our subsequent videos I will show you, okay, you will study about rotation of earth or the simple our walking. Okay, our walking is also because of the laws of physics. Why do we walk or how do we walk? Okay, carrying out new challenging experiments to unfold the secrets of nature and in verifying to or falsifying the existing theories. Okay, means physics is also needed to find out new things or to find out or to reveal the secrets of the nature, or if suppose any law is there, okay, to verify it we need the laws of physics, or to make it false, to prove it wrong, we need the laws of physics. Proving and understanding the science behind natural phenomenon like eclipse, why does solar eclipse happen, lunar eclipse happen, these are governed by the laws of physics. And why one feels the heat when there is a fire. Okay, if there is a fire in front of you, you feel heat without touching it. Why does it happen? It is based on the law of physics, which we will see in our later videos. What causes the wind, etc. Okay, why the wind moves from one place to other place, and also at different time its speed is also different. Why? In today's world of technological advancement, the building block of all engineering and technical education is physics, which is explained with the help of mathematical tools. Okay, so whatever things we see in physics, everything is related to mathematics. Okay, and as I have said earlier, if physics is the body, then maths is the soul. We need mathematics to explain physics. Mathematics is not physics, but we need mathematics to understand the things well in physics and summarize it. Fine, so this is the end of today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and in next video we will try to make it as interesting as possible. I am requesting all of you who are watching this video, please give your comment in the comment section that what are your likes, dislikes, and what are the extra things which you want me to be added. Okay, whatever things you want, tell me in the comment section and I will make the next video according to you so that you will enjoy it. Fine. Please, another request is that please subscribe to my channel youtube.com/c/PrateekSinghClasses. Okay, do like and share it among your friends and hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video, you will get its notification. Fine. So till the next video, take care of yourself. Bye bye.